Both teams 1-2. The Ravens losing a game that saw Lamar Jackson very frustrated multiple times in the game as the Ravens lost at home to the Lions. The Chiefs get their first win of the season, but it really wasn't all that impressive against the Giants. They're underdogs at home for only the second time in Patrick Mahomes' years as a starter, and they're already a home underdog for the second time this season. Okay, let me get that right. Once in his prior 7 years, twice already this year, home underdogs. They lost to the Eagles in week 2. They're 2.5-point underdogs at home to the Ravens with a 48.5 over-under with 86% of the spread money on Baltimore. Who do you like?
Well, no, it's not even close. I'm taking the Ravens. There's no way I'm picking the Patriots. The Ravens are in a different class than the Kansas City Chiefs right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to have to fight to win against the worst teams in football. It's not what we saw last week. Yeah, they won 22-9. It was Strugglesville, big time. I mean, yeah, and nothing was easy. Nothing's going to be easy. The Ravens, yeah, surprisingly are 1-2, but they're like, oh, wait, if Derrick Henry doesn't fumble against Buffalo, I doubt they win. And they showed an element in that game of like, whoa, they're kicking the shit out of Buffalo. Buffalo went desperation like halfway through the third quarter. Now, they came back, and I give them credit. And then even last week, we know Detroit's one of the best teams in football. If Derrick Henry doesn't fumble, that's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to come down to the very end. So, yeah, I think totally differently. One team's 1-2 and not been impressive in any of the games. The other one's 1-2 and been impressive in all 3 games, just messed up the end of the football games against some really damn good football teams there. So, yeah, I don't expect the Ravens are still really good. They got to improve their pass rush. That's still an issue. My other thing with the Ravens is this. They're just a little too cool for school sometimes. I said this earlier in the week. They got bullied on Monday night. They're a team I look at a little bit to go, they got to like up their level of intensity and craziness, physicality a little bit. That to me is the one thing that misses out. I think they're a little bit like, hey, we're the big bad Ravens. We're just going to run you over because we're big and bad. And then it's like, boom, boom, whoa, we got punched back. And they're a little bit like, whoa, you're not supposed to do that. And it's like, no, you got to dig deep, and then you got to throw some haymakers back too. They missed that element. That really is what jumped out to me on Monday night. The Lions were just laying it on the line, and the Falcons and the Ravens don't do that. And yeah, so because of that, that's the only thing that scares me. But 30-21 Ravens here. This could be a best bet for me.
The thing about the Ravens, and look, I think this is a huge swing game simply from the perspective of the difference between 2-2 and 1-3. I think that's a huge difference.
Yeah, it is.
The standings, obviously, right. Psychologically, we're 1-3. You're getting dangerously close to every game is a playoff game the rest of the way. It's the Bengals dynamic from last year. We're supposed to be better than this. We've stacked up these losses. We have to go out and win and win and win and win and win. The preseason narrative was almost identical between the Bills and the Ravens. Are they going to finally fulfill the promise and the potential that comes with having an MVP quarterback? And if the Bills do it this year and the Ravens don't, man, that becomes glaring.
Oh, no doubt about it.
That becomes very glaring.
Right.
And that I think you're going to have all sorts of things on the table in Baltimore that haven't been on the table.
I think most of the league thinks that, Mike.
Years.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that's some very, very real thing in the NFL. People think that.
There have been times where it feels like it's time for a change, that John Harbaugh, and he may want to go somewhere else. I mean, this kind of stuff wears on people. And the Lamar Jackson thing has just been a constant stress point. His contract, dealing with him, he doesn't have an agent, he's hard to get in touch with. And his contract situation is looming, and he was openly frustrated by the play calling early in the game on Monday night. The Ravens need this one badly. If they don't win this one against a Chiefs team that is right where the Ravens should want them,
exactly.
It's going to be a long year in Baltimore. I got 27-23, but it could potentially get ugly for the Chiefs, which would be good for the Ravens.
Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.